Okay.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Herold here on Badlands Media. I'm your host, Jon Herold. Hope you all had a great weekend. Some interesting stuff happening the last 24 to 48 hours. Trump just signed a peace deal in the Middle East. I'll be honest, I'm shocked. I thought for sure there would be something that would take place before it happened that would be used as an excuse to prevent it from happening. But here we are. Signed as of like half an hour ago. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about some of the other stuff. People in the chat, how you doing? We'll talk about last night's show. Yeah, last night we launched a new show on Badlands. I'm pretty easygoing when people that are already on Badlands come to me and they're like, "Hey man, what do you think about us doing this show? You know, on this day at this time? It's already open. All these things. This is the idea." And I'm just like, "Yeah, go for it." And last night was Q After Hours, episode 1. Alpha Warrior, Brad Zerbo, and Josh Reed. And Bravis is saying that they were decoding stuff or getting real-time comms from Scavino last night. It's pretty exciting. Pretty exciting stuff. I haven't had a chance to watch. It's a little past my bedtime. I have been working on that project still. I'm hoping today is the last day, maybe tomorrow, but it will be coming out this week. So very excited for you guys to see what we've been working on over here, what's been all consuming for especially recently, but really for a long time now. You'll see what I mean. I know Alpha Warrior's show is, or not Alpha Warrior, the Y Chrome show is going on right now. So we'll try to buzz through as much as we can, and I'll get you guys over to that show quickly. Don't forget, I'll be back on tonight on Baseless Conspiracies. Can't remember. What's the conspiracy? Do you guys remember what conspiracy we're doing? Kurt Cobain, I think that's the one. So it should be a fun time. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up. Let's get a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll start plugging away. First up, we have Prize Attire.
What is the Sovereign Alliance? The Sovereign Alliance are a collection of leaders and countries that are aligned not in the vision for their countries, but against a vision that has been thrust upon them. I believe that the Sovereign Alliance is less a battle for something and more a battle against something. They are against globalism, collectivism. They are against the rules-based international order.
Sovereign Alliance, the latest addition to Badlands Rise merch, available now at badlandsmedia.tv/rise.
Awesome. Spetzel in the chat asked, so is the DEF CON 0 spot open for a different show now? Can it be replaced now that after the test run? I've had no complaints throughout the test run. I don't see a need to replace the show. And if I'm being totally honest, I don't want to add another show or like take it out and then find myself streaming on Tuesday nights again. I stream enough. I stream a lot. And in addition to everything else going on behind the scenes, I can't take anymore. So I don't know. I think we're going to keep it. I see no reason to replace it. So anyway, we do have another sponsor today's show, and that is Save Pulse. Save Pulse is dedicated to keeping you and your family healthy with top quality medications like amoxicillin, azithromycin, ivermectin, and hydroxychloroquine at unbeatable prices. The streamlined ordering process makes it easy to stock up on all your health essentials. And now with exciting news about fenbendazole showing promise in cancer research, they proudly offer this alongside antibiotics and other viral care meds. Don't wait. Prepare for any health scenario today. Get your supply and stay ahead of the curve with Save Pulse. Visit badlandsmedia.tv/meds and use promo code SAVEHEALTH at checkout to get a 20% discount on orders over $100. Thank you to Save Health and our sponsors. Spetzel says it's never enough, John. You have firsthand experience of how my fantasy football team suffers because of my schedule. I like basically forget I have a team until right before the game start, like an hour, maybe the night before sometimes, but usually it's like Sunday morning. I'm like, oh shoot, I wonder if there's anybody available for me to replace this injured person that got injured a week ago. And just it's been a struggle. I'm not out of it in my Badlands league. The Badlanders league, I'm hurting. Only Lands Tuesday was a fun time. I will admit it was a good little like mix up throughout the week, but I would much rather do like I don't know. I just think I'm comfortable with the schedule right now. We may be looking to add a content creator in the future here, but like I got my eyes on one. But I'm not really in any rush to do that too. There's so much stuff going on behind the scenes, so we'll just stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. Last up, do me a favor if you haven't yet, get yourself some GART tickets. GART is coming to Cocoa Beach, Florida. It's going to be a great time. This venue is amazing. Single day tickets. I've been saying I don't know if we're going to put them on sale. We decided to rip the Band-Aid off because I know there were a couple people reaching out waiting for those, and they're people that I really want to make sure get them. So we're going to put single day tickets on sale here probably pretty soon, just to make sure that those people get their tickets. And then we also have virtual tickets on sale. If you can't make it in person, get your virtual ticket. They are on sale at a discounted rate through Wednesday. So if you know you're going to get a virtual ticket, you can get it cheaper now than you will after Wednesday up until GART. So can't believe it's only 24 days away. It's kind of nuts. It's nutso. But anyway, let's start cruising away. We got no update on the Doge website, no update on the presidential website. Trump's been busy. The countdown clock or shutdown clock, whatever, is continuing to go up. It has been almost 13 days. It's been over 12 and a half days since the government shut down. It's really like nobody, this weekend, nobody's really talking about it. As much as they're trying to make it a thing, this whole political theater, it's not really working anymore. Nobody really cares. Peace in the Middle East will do that to you. And that's what we're going to talk about first, I think, is this that Trump signed. He's in Egypt today, and they signed the deal. Take a listen.
Can we get the documents, please? Okay.
Little sign right here.
Okay. Okay.
There appears to be some confusion in the chat real quick before I finish this about DEF CON. DEF CON is not going anywhere. DEF CON will still be doing on Tuesday nights. What they did on Sunday was an added show. I don't know. Somebody in the chat asked if we're going to be removing DEF CON, and I said no. I said I see no reason to do that. Originally, it was just a trial run to see how it went. It's typically what like all shows. I'm like, okay, we'll do this kind of on a trial basis, see how it goes. Just because I don't want to fully commit to anything that I end up not liking later or regretting. But to this point yet, I do not have regrets about DEF CON. And it'll say, I like the show. I like the people. So it's not going anywhere. Settle down. Stop spreading rumors in the chat, guys. Nuke. Nobody left Badlands. You guys are going to get me in trouble. There's literally nothing changing at Badlands except we added a new show on Sunday night after Burning Bright. If anything, it's a good change because it starts at 11 or 12 p.m. Eastern, which means Burning Bright is going to have to try to be done by 12 p.m. Eastern. And you won't just keep talking all night long. So you guys chill out. New K's, I'm going to put you in timeout for spreading these rumors. You just wait. I'm going to get a text from like Alpha. He's going to be like, hey, you guys, you're canceling DEF CON? No, not true.
This took 3,000 years to get to this point.
Trump's been negotiating this for 3,000 years, guys.
Can you believe it? And it's going to hold up, too. It's going to hold up. Okay, thank you. You can use my pen if you want. Have a pen? Can you use mine? Okay.
Don't let him use your pen.
Okay.
I don't even think what Trump uses is a pen. I'm pretty sure it's a permanent marker.
Okay.
I thought this would be a little more exciting. I thought he was going to talk more. Peace 2025. Oh, this is funny. It's like somebody. It's like, hey, so what do you want to say in front of your, the desk that you're sitting at? Like, what should we call it? Let's call it Peace 2025. They should have took a shot at the Nobel Peace Prize and called it Nobel Peace 2025. But they signed the papers now. There is no way that the Middle East can ever not be at peace from this point forward. It's codified. It's in contract. Someday a terrorist is going to be wandering around the Middle East wanting to do some terrorism. And he's going to be about to start doing that terrorism. And somebody's going to be like, hey, man, there's a contract. You can't do that. He's going to be like, oh, yeah, shit, I forgot. I'll never mind. I'll go back.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to hold it up.
Hold it up.
Hold up the signature page, yeah.
Nice. I thought he was going to say words. Wow. What an unfortunate. If I would, I'm sorry. If I would have known that was just literally them signing and us looking at the word Peace 2025 the entire time, I probably wouldn't have played that clip. I thought I had another one. Whatever. I got a couple other clips here. Hold for processing. We got this. There's gonna be a few posts from Rapid Response that will play.
This is the day that people across the region and around the world have been working, striving, hoping, and praying for. They have done things over the last month that I think were really unthinkable. Nobody thought this could happen. With the historic agreement we've just signed, those prayers of millions have finally been answered. As you know, the hostages have been returned, and further work goes on having to do with the, sadly to say, bodies. Together we've achieved what everybody said was impossible. At long last, we have peace in the Middle East, and it's a very simple expression, peace in the Middle East, and we've heard it for many years, but nobody thought it could ever get there, and now we're there. This is the day.
There's that, and then there's one more I want to play. This is the clip I meant to play. So I think to redeem myself from that first clip, I have to play this one because this is where he actually talks.
Day for the Middle East. And you can see that this is probably the greatest assemblage of countries in terms of wealth and power maybe ever assembled. And it's just an honor to be a part of it. We're going to be signing a document that's going to spell out a lot of rules and regulations and lots of other things. And it's very comprehensive, but we've already signed documents in the Middle East and having to do with Israel and Hamas and just about everything else. And it's really working out incredibly well. The hostages, as you know, were let go on time, on schedule. The very sad situation of bodies, which was always a sad situation, and they're being sought out, and they're working with many different people, finding some were brought in and some were not. And they're working out to find out where those bodies are. It's hard to believe that you even have to say something like that. It's so sad. It's
They need to find somebody who knows where the bodies are buried. See what I did there? See what I did there?
so sad. But what's not sad is that we have finally, after, I guess they say 3,000 years, I've heard from 3,000 years to 500 years, but whatever it is, it's a lot. But this was the one,
Well, what is it? That's a huge ass range. Like that is the difference of Christ being alive or not. You know what I mean? Like, how long has this conflict been going on? But also, the country of Israel has not existed for, has it even been 100 years yet?
the granddaddy of them all. And frankly, I thought this was probably going to be the toughest, and maybe in many ways it was, but we had a lot of good talent. Steve Witkoff, Jared, and Marco, and Pete, and General Kane was so great. John Ratcliffe was incredible. We had an amazing array of talent.
Why does he mention those people with the peace deal? Like John Ratcliffe, CIA director. That's interesting. But yeah, anyway, so deal signed. I'm curious what you guys think. Do you think they'll actually keep peace there? Do you think there's going to be something that breaks us? And maybe they'll stick with the Hamas deal, but Ghost is pretty convinced that there's going to be some sort of conflict with Iran now. And Israel just constantly needs to be in conflict in order for Bibi Netanyahu. This is me paraphrasing my understanding of how he sees the situation. It's in order for him to remain in power, he needs to constantly have the threat of war. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I did see somebody in the chat mention Ukraine. We're going to talk about that here briefly. But first, this is what was in the Jerusalem Post. God bless the peacemaker. God bless him indeed. Real quick, Trump had this post on social media yesterday, and all of the stock market, all of a sudden, like, okay, never mind, we don't have anything to worry about. He says, don't worry about China. It will all be fine. Highly respected President Xi just had a bad moment. He doesn't want depression for his country, neither do I. The USA wants to help China, not hurt it. President Donald J. Trump. So last week he has a long post about how China and the strongly worded letters they sent out and how it was so offensive and all these things, all these chips manufacturers take a nosedive. All the stock market goes down. I think it's like the Dow is down 500 points or something. And then today he posts this and they bounce back. I mean, some of it has to do with Broadcom OpenAI deal, but the easing of Chinese tensions. And it's just crazy how easily he can manipulate the market with his social media. Just the things he says. And he knows the power of that. And that's no small thing. And I do anticipate and expect him to use that to his advantage as the United States, whether you like it or not, starts to make some of these deals. You can call it insider trading. Maybe it's more so insider directing. He's using the power of the presidency essentially to get the United States the best deal. But as we start making these deals with these companies, which I anticipate will come at some point, we've already got the one with Intel. He's going to want a piece of a lot of these chip manufacturers and these rare earth material or mineral companies. All it takes is a little post. Stocks go down. He gets us a better deal on it. So Trump mentioned a pardon for Bibi. I did not see that. That is notable. Let me see if I can find that. Trump pardon Bibi. I personally don't think Burning Bright should be pardoned. I think he is guilty, and I think there should be some accountability. But if Trump wants to pardon him, that's fine. That's fair. Trust his judgment. Here's a clip apparently of it.
One of the greatest wartime presidents, and cigars and sandwiches.
Ooh, that's interesting. He said wartime president. Talking about Bibi Netanyahu. Okay, maybe him saying that. I mean, has he said that before? I don't know for sure. If he hasn't said that before, that's interesting. Very interesting. But anytime Trump's referred to himself that way, I've thought of it as like a devocom, right? And then you have Speaker Mike Johnson referring to himself as a wartime speaker. And then Trump comes out and refers to Bibi as a wartime president as well. That's notable.
Been one of the greatest wartime presidents, and cigars and champagne. Who the hell is enough controversy for the day. Actually, I don't think it's very controversial. So, I see so popular. You are a very popular man. You know why? Because you know how to win. Been one of the greatest.
Oh man, Liberty Line pops in as like trying to steal people away. I'll send him over to Y Chromes as soon as this is done, I promise. But it is a good show. I wouldn't say manliest because I'm not on it, but it's up there. You could look at this a few ways. He could be genuinely asking and pleading for a pardon for Bibi Netanyahu because he thinks he's innocent. Or he could be drawing attention to the fact that Bibi is in need of a pardon because he did something in which he would need a pardon for. You know what I mean? You could look at it both ways. I don't know. You would know if he said it previously. Yeah, I feel like I would, but I don't remember. I don't think he said that about Bibi Netanyahu, but maybe he is. Maybe he has. Anyway, let's keep rolling here. This is a post from yesterday. The Ukraine impeachment of me scam was a far bigger illegal hoax than Watergate. I sincerely hope the necessary authorities in Congress are looking into this. Adam Shifty Shift was so dishonest and corrupt. So many laws and protocols were violated and just plain broken. President Donald J. Trump. Trump hasn't mentioned the Ukraine impeachment in some time. It's been a little while. So to me, this is a signal. Like this is going to be part of the RICO case. I think that wouldn't surprise anybody. We've talked about that. But again, a lot of these stories that we keep getting like refreshers on. You know what? I forgot to check Just the News today. Let me do that. We get these refreshers, and a lot of them come from Just the News. But there's nothing out here about Ukraine. And they do it on purpose. They want these things to be fresh in your mind for whatever reason. Maybe there's some psychological trick to like, as long as these people are refreshed on it and understand like this is still there, the story's still there, maybe it'll have more impact later. I wonder if I should look into that. I don't know if that's a real thing. Like, is it more impactful on somebody if there's like this constant nagging of a topic and constant reminder of a topic and then it gets resolved? Or is it more impactful to just have like out of nowhere, boom, the thing, like the big thing resolves it? What is more impactful? And I'd assume it's the constant reminder of it because that's what they are clearly doing. Repeatedly, with all the different stories. Just last week, we got a reminder that the Biden family had investigations into it, but didn't actually get investigated. They had whistleblowers saying like, yeah, there's potential things here to look into, but no investigations were open. Yeah, we know they're corrupt. We know they probably should have looked into it, but they didn't. But that's an interesting reminder. Something we already knew. Let's keep going, and then I want to get into Trump had another J6 post today. He's like bipolar with his J6 posts, but I'm going to read this long one first. Throughout most of our history, America's colleges and universities have been a great strategic asset of the United States. Tragically, however, much of higher education has lost its way and is now corrupting our youth and society with woke, socialist, and anti-American ideology that serves as justification for discriminatory practices by universities that are unconstitutional and unlawful. My administration is fixing this, and fast, with our great reform agenda in higher education. Our nation's great institutions will once again prioritize merit and hard work before group identity, resulting in tremendous new research and opportunity to benefit all Americans and equality being honored in American businesses, courts, and culture. To those universities that continue to illegally discriminate based on race or sex, we will continue our current efforts to swiftly and forcefully enforce federal law. But for those institutions that want to quickly return to the pursuit of truth and achievement, They are invited to enter into a forward-looking agreement with the federal government to help bring about the golden age of academic excellence in higher education. They will agree to follow federal law and protect the civil rights of all students, faculty, and employees on campuses. They will stop racist admission policies and put an end to unjust and illegal discrimination in faculty hiring. These institutions will commit a high-quality standards and intellectually open campus environment, including the protection of free speech and debate, institutional neutrality, major steps towards affordability for students, and an end to the entanglement of foreign money in the finances of American universities. Americans deserve to be treated in accordance with their demonstrated achievements and potential, and upon regaining this fundamentally American value, our nation will be unstoppable. We will once again have universities that develop the talents of our amazing young people to lead lives of success and fulfillment, cultivate a love of country and a culture of achievement, and help make Americans proud, safe, and prosperous and free. This is one of those Truth Social posts where it makes me think of a few things. Like, one, in the lead up to his election, like while he was campaigning, he put out that video talking about the American Academy or whatever. And it's going to be like a public thing that was free where you could take courses, and it would be, you know, whatever merits you got from it, it would be acceptable, like almost on par with a degree from college, and you can use it as a, you know, you can get hired from it and all these things. We haven't had a peep on that since. We've also been told repeatedly that the Department of Education is going to be shut down. This doesn't sound like a post you would put out if you were about to shut down the Department of Education. I mean, I guess it is kind of like more so directly communicating with the universities and higher education places, but I don't know. It's weird. But when he puts out posts like these long posts, carefully worded, he's trying to get off a message like, hey, we need to do something, but we need this specific group to play ball with us. He's giving them the opportunity to play ball, and then if they don't, there's always like a hammer that drops in the form of some sort of order or whatever, and maybe it's going to be the actual shutting down of the Department of Education. I don't know. But this is it's a pretext post. He's putting this out there. It's the pretext to something that's going to come later, and that's going to be probably pretty significant. But to put this out in the middle of everything else going on, I think it's interesting. Bravis says he laid off 20%. I didn't know that was the exact numbers, but I love that. Remember last Friday? Or was it Friday? When was the 9th? The 9th was, Thursday. I showed you guys this post from Trump about the FBI. And I was like, this is weird. This is an about face. And then you guys made me go look up the previous post that he did, which was this one. This is the first one back on September 27th. That story came out. The story said that there was 274 agents embedded in the crowd at J6. Wasn't what the actual story said or the report said, but everybody bought into it. Trump himself bought into it. And he was like calling these people dirty cops and all these things. And it was rough. And then he followed it up with the one, oh man, I didn't even show it. This is the first one. This was the second one where he's like apologizing. Essentially, I want to thank you for your courage and all these things. And then 2 days after that, he's back to the Biden FBI placed 274 agents into the crowd on January 6th. If this is so, which it is, a lot of very good people will be owed big apologies. What a scam, do something, President Donald J. Trump. Like within 2 days now, it's a complete about face. He went from, yep, they were embedded, to I owe them my thanks for their courage on doing the bad things Chris Wray told them to do, back to, yeah, we need some apologies, scam, do something. This is terrible. And he's again getting the story wrong. And okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that, because I do believe there was embedded provocateurs. Maybe some of them were government agents or, on the government payroll, likely in some form or fashion, that were embedded in the crowd on J6. But the story he's referring to with this specific number has already been debunked. At least I debunked it. It hasn't been mainstream debunked, and clearly hasn't been Trump debunked. But this is bipolar activity from Trump here in terms of his social media activity. And I love that stuff. I think it's hilarious. But it's also a good example of him taking multiple sides of the same issue. And I clearly think it's intentional. Like in 2 days, you don't change your mind like that on the same story. You are going from one end of the spectrum to the other and then back again on purpose. And honestly, it was so long since the first post. Between the first post and this post right here, this is the second one. Between the first post, September 27th, and October 9th, it was so long that it probably didn't have the same narrative effect. But now you do it within 2 days of each other, makes a little more sense. This is interesting. There is something afoot here, though I may not know exactly what it is. But it's great. Yeah, Bayard for his dick. Gosh, I still love the name. John, I thought Trump was praising the FBI agents that blew the whistle on the Fedsurrection. He literally just was. He just was. Or are you talking about? No, this post is him apologizing to the people that he previously basically called criminals. He's talking about the same FBI agents in both these posts. Because if you go read the actual report, this is what that report says. This is what Kash Patel said when Kash came out later and clarified what the report said. This is the phrasing. This is the wording. They were forced to go to the Capitol and respond to the Capitol on January 6th. And then they later blew the whistle on how the FBI got so political and stuff. That's all in that same report. Now Trump is talking about the same story and he's taken it out of context again. It's interesting stuff, guys. All right, let me see if there's any new stories on our website. And if not, I'll click through a few of these. This is a weird one to me because we already went over this. We've talked about this for like a month now. Dan Scavino getting named to the White House Personnel Office. I'm almost positive this was a story. Has to have been a month now. Let me see. I know I posted about it. Or I know, at least know we talked about it on this show or talked about it on a Power Hour or something. Let me see, Scavino. Sorry, I'm just searching my own. Oh, yeah, back on August 26th, going live at 1 p.m. Eastern, Scavino's new role. Oh, right here, August 26th. Dan Scavino is one of the president's most trusted. So, yeah, we had this story way back on August 26th. If you've been following Badlands Media, you knew this was coming. But now it's official, or Trump posted about it, and I guess. Anyway, yeah, I'm pleased to announce that the great Dan Scavino, in addition to remaining the Deputy Chief of Staff of the Trump administration, will head the White House Presidential Personnel Office, replacing Sergio Gore, who did a wonderful job in that position, and will now become the ambassador to India. Maybe it's because Sergio Gore finally got confirmed in the Senate to be the Indian ambassador. Dan will be responsible for the selection and appointment of almost all positions in government. Very big and important position. Congratulations, Dan. You will do a fantastic job. But yeah, so you already knew that. CDC faces mass layoffs as entire offices and senior staff are eliminated. Boom. Love it. Can absolutely get behind this. That was just like a wishful thinking slip of the tongue. Dozen of senators were let go or fired or whatever, but no. Dozens of Centers for Disease Control and Prevention employees were notified late Friday night that they were being terminated as part of a wider reduction in force across the Department of Health and Human Services. They shuttered the Washington's office, defected staff in the Global Health Center. I think this is great. According to court filing, HHS began laying off between 1,100 and 1,200 employees on Friday, with staff across multiple divisions receiving reduction in force notices. Go after the people that put us through COVID. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I will not bat an eye. I have no sympathy. I'm empathetic for people that are going to potentially lose their income and have to face that stress in their family. But I do not want my tax dollars going to fund those things. It is unfortunate that people will be affected by these government layoffs. But at the end of the day, while empathetic, I don't really give a shit. Man, that should be on a shirt. While empathetic, I don't really give a shit. And if there are people watching that are government employees and are potentially going to be fired from your jobs, I still love you. You're still welcome in the Badlands family. I will even do my best to help get you a new job. We should start like a hiring thing on Badlands, like a website, whatever. where people can put job postings and people can find jobs with, maybe we can help in that way. I don't know. But when it comes to my tax dollars, I don't want it going to stuff like this, jobs that don't need to be there. And some of the jobs that have put us through a bunch of really awful things, some of the government employees, I'm not saying you specifically if you're watching the show, but our government is gone so big, so bloated, needs to be reduced. And the only way that's going to happen is with some ripping off of the Band-Aids. And here we are. That moment is coming, and we have a lot more of these moments to come. Somebody remind me to tell Cheryl about like a Badlands job listings. We'll get something on the site. And then if you're hiring, you can send us the listing. We'll post it. We'll help you guys. We'll help connect people. But while empathetic, just don't give a shit. Let's see what else I got. I don't have too much. Oh, another Ukraine story. Trump might give Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine. Could they be a game changer in the war? I'm not even going to read the story. Like Trump is saying, like, okay, Putin, if you're not going to shit or get off the pot, otherwise I'm going to start giving Tomahawks to Ukraine. We've been giving them weapons for 4 years or whatever. I don't see how this changes things, but just headline, surface level. I think back to Trump all the time would be like, Obama gave him pillows and blankets. I gave him Tomahawks. I actually helped them fight the war and fight Putin. So I don't know. It's interesting that that's the story here. Nothing really. They're trying to really sell us that shutdown repercussions are getting much more serious. I personally do not feel it. But whatever. Oh, I wanted to cover this story because I thought this was funny. Hold for processing. We'll skip to this one first about the shutdown. The fears with military pay no longer looming as a pressure point. Little will stop the shutdown from continuing for several more weeks. Republicans are ratcheting up pressure on Democrats on multiple fronts as the government shutdown enters a third week, hoping the hardball moves can finally force a reckoning as U.S. troops face a first ever missed paycheck. Have they literally never missed a paycheck to the military? Even in previous shutdowns, we were shut down in 2018 or whatever, 2019. The GOP fears that if the military pay deadline passes without action, there will be little to stop the shutdown from continuing for several more weeks at least. Some Republicans have privately warned the White House that taking unilateral action to pay service members would deprive the party of a key lever to make Democrats feel overwhelming consequences for their refusal to act on a House-passed spending bill. Blah, blah, blah. Hold on. Where is this going? Hold for processing, guys. Okay. This is this funny story I want to show you. Is NASA losing the moon race? All eyes are on the mega rocket launching Monday for answers. Is NASA losing the moon race? Calls for the United States to return astronauts to the moon before the end of the decade have been increasingly loud and frequent, emanating from bipartisan lawmakers and science advocates alike, but underline that drumbeat is a quagmire of epic proportions. NASA plans to use SpaceX's Starship, the largest rocket system ever constructed, for a key portion of the lunar journey. Yet it is still unclear whether the vehicle will work, and a fierce competitor is nipping at the agency's heels. This is so stupid. The China National Space Administration will almost certainly walk the moon in the next 5 years. Like the way they're even talking about it is ridiculous because we've already been there. It should be super easy to do, right? Right? But no. It's like we might be able to get back to the next 5 years. I hope we can beat them back. So stupid. The way they're talking about this, either this whole part of it is like a lie and like we already have a whole bunch of crazy stuff going on at the moon, which I wouldn't be surprised. They're either lying about the situation now or they're lying about the situation back then. Which one they're lying about, I don't know. Don't really care. Either way, we're being lied to. And then with that, I think, guys, I'm going to end it here so I can get you guys over to Y-Chromes, which I've been told is almost the manliest show on the internet. But before we do that, I got a Rumble rant I want to read from Lee Walden. Ahoy, John. Have you seen the 6-3 decision from SCOTUS regarding Trump's authority for firing anyone in the admin Friday, I believe? I did talk about that Friday, I think, anyway. But yes, I did see that. And thank you for the rant. I'm also going to play a quick soft disclosure ad. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And then we're going to head over to Y-Chromes together. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I'll be back tonight on Baseless Conspiracies, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Then I'll also be back tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Daily Herold. You guys have a great rest of your day.
They say confidence starts with a smooth skin. And baby, soft disclosure lotion delivers.
I swear by this stuff. Like, I kid you guys not. This is the first lotion I've ever had in my entire life that, like, I don't get ashy after I put it on any part of my body. Like, my hands are always dry, and my hands have not gotten ashy without, like, rinsing them through water and washing them with soap since I started putting soft disclosure on. Like, it is black man approved. I kid you not.
Black man approved. You heard him. And let's be real. If it can handle his hands, it can handle anything.
Feet are like, they get so dry, like the heels of them, it'll just kind of like flake off. Like, but with soft disclosure, once you put it on, like it starts to absorb it.
Yeah, he went there. Don't worry, we won't show you his feet, but trust us, they're smoother too. Soft disclosure lotion is made with aloe, goat's milk, honey, and our exclusive oil blend that actually restores your skin barrier. Visit softdisclosure.com, use code BADLANDS, and get 15% off.
Real good.
Why they stopping me?